He was born poor, he had no noble blood, no royal connections. Yet he rose to become one of the greatest marshals of the most powerful man in Europe, Napoleon Bonaparte. This is the story of André Masséna, the man Napoleon called the favorite child of victory. But here's the question: how does a street fighter from Nice become one of history's most feared commanders? And why did even his enemies admit, when Massena was in command, defeat was never certain? Let's find out. Massena was born in 1758 in Nice, not into wealth, not into power, but into struggle. His father died when he was young. No inheritance. No privilege. At 17 he joined the army as a common soldier. No academy. No aristocratic background. Just raw instinct, intelligence, and relentless ambition. And then came the storm that would change everything, the French Revolution. While nobles fled or were executed, Massena stayed. He fought, he adapted, he rose. Because revolution rewards talent. And Massena had it. In 1796, a young general named Napoleon Bonaparte took command of the army of Italy. Many generals doubted him. Massena didn't. Instead, he became Napoleon's most aggressive lieutenant. At the Battle of Rivoli, Massena's divisions marched overnight through freezing conditions, smashed Austrian forces, and secured victory. Napoleon was stunned. He saw something rare in Massena: speed, boldness, unbreakable will. From that moment on, Massena wasn't just a subordinate, he was trusted. And in Napoleon's world, that meant everything. Napoleon didn't give compliments easily. But after repeated triumphs in Italy and Switzerland, he gave Massena a nickname: L'enfant chéri de la victoire, the favorite child of victory. Massena won at Zurich, Genoa, northern Italy. At Zurich in 1799, he defeated a larger Russian army and saved France from invasion. Let that sink in. A former street kid from Nice stopped an international coalition. Massena wasn't polished like some marshals. He wasn't glamorous. But when things were desperate, Napoleon sent Massena. In 1800, Massena was trapped in Genoa, outnumbered, starving, surrounded. Food ran out, soldiers were exhausted. Civilians suffered, yet Massena held the city for months. Why? Because every day he resisted, he tied down Austrian forces, giving Napoleon time to strike elsewhere. And when Napoleon won at Marengo, it was partly because Massena bought him that time. That's what made him dangerous. He understood strategy beyond the battlefield. He could endure. When Napoleon crowned himself emperor in 1804, he created 8 marshals of the empire. Massena was one of them, a former private, now Marshal of France. But his greatest test was still ahead. In 1810, Napoleon sent Massena to invade Portugal. The objective: crush British forces led by Arthur Wellesley, 1st Duke of Wellington. Massena marched deep into Portugal. But Wellington had prepared something extraordinary: the Lines of Torres Vedras, massive defensive fortifications. Massena's army faced scorched earth tactics, starvation, guerrilla warfare, impenetrable defenses. For months he tried to break through. But even he couldn't. Eventually he was forced to retreat, one of Napoleon's first major setbacks. Was it incompetence or impossible odds? Even Wellington respected him. And that says a lot. Massena wasn't perfect. He could be greedy, he had enemies. He wasn't always politically smooth, but on the battlefield, he was aggressive, tactical, adaptive, fearless under pressure. Unlike some marshals who needed clear orders, Massena could think independently. He could survive chaos. And that's why Napoleon valued him so highly. As Napoleon's empire began to crumble after 1812, Massena's role faded. The old lion had fought countless campaigns. He survived revolution, coalitions, starvation, betrayal, and empire. When Napoleon fell, Massena adjusted, just like he always had. He lived long enough to see the world change again, from revolutionary France to imperial glory to restoration. Few men navigated such chaos and lived. Massena did. Here's the truth: Massena didn't start with advantages. He built himself in war. He rose because he was effective, not because he was noble. And when history tested him, he rarely collapsed. So ask yourself, in moments of pressure, when resources are low, when the odds are against you, do you break or do you become Massena? If you want more stories about the commanders who shaped the world, hit like if you respect resilience. Subscribe if you want deep military history without the fluff. And comment below, was Massena Napoleon's most underrated marshal? Your engagement tells the algorithm to push real history, not recycled content. And next week, we dive into another commander who defied impossible odds. Don't miss it.